Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports, which happens to be a pretty special episode because it's the 600th episode. Steve told me it's his show and he can do what he wants to do, so he's just hanging around, but I have this...
has chosen not to be a part of it.
Yeah, has chosen...
Just yet.
Not yet, but I have one of my favorite co-hosts. I'm a little biased, but Mr. Charlie Sanborn here. Right now 600, like I said, 600 episodes, something to celebrate, but definitely holiday season is here. We did quite a bit of celebrating last night with the McCaig family and their annual Christmas party, but I think the best part of that is that it was not only like a huge group of racing people, like everyone was there last night. It was also for a really great cause, so that was... And ironically, we won 2 of the games last night too.
For sure. No, it's definitely it's holiday season. It's beard season. It's off season. It's time to kind of calm down, relax, and reflect on maybe what you've done the past season, but also kind of gear up and get ready for next season. And it's always a good time to have all of your best friends and I guess colleagues, if you will, in the racing community all in one place and just having a good time. And like you said, we were playing games for a good cause. And thank you to Dan and Laura McCaig for bringing us into your home and having a great time with everybody for sure. And I was lucky enough to win the Pass the Parcel event, so that was kind of cool. And just have a good time with everybody. And like you said, there was a ton of people from the racing community there. And I think at one point I actually made a point to someone saying, just looking around, there's just a ton of talent all around this room from past, present, and even future. So. Definitely cool to see that, and like I said, it's a time of the year where you're not go all the time, but you're getting ready, and you're kind of creeping up on that date of opening day for next year. So I know that us personally, we've actually got the car about 95% done already, getting ready for the Northeast Motorsports Expo in Augusta. So it'll be cool to go there and see everybody again in a little bit different setting, and kind of see what everybody's doing for 2019 and the thought processes and what everybody's game plan is for next year.
Yeah, and definitely like we were talking about earlier, like you haven't had the opportunity to bring your car there in a couple years just because your schedule is running limited races. So this year it's kind of a little bit different where we have the opportunity to, get the car ready and be a bigger part of it all instead of like last year you went both weekends, I think, and we did that round table last year in Portland. But, to have your car there and to be able to network with people is really big. Absolutely.
I think that's one of the biggest parts to our sport and our community that a lot of people don't really understand. And I know that Steve and I have discussed this, and you and I have discussed this, that networking is probably one of the biggest things that you can do, where if you go to a show, you don't necessarily want to see somebody on there. You're there, you see the car, you connect to it to what you've seen on the racetrack, but you don't necessarily know who's driving it. So then you go to these shows and you finally meet the driver or the crews to these, and you don't want to meet this person, have them be on their cell phone, sitting on a couch, or talking to their wife the whole time, whatever. You want to be able to interact with those people, and it's a great avenue to be able to bring your car and your brand, if you will, to the general public, to somebody who maybe not necessarily goes to Beechridge or Oxford or Wiscasset every weekend, and kind of showcase other talents that you can do outside of the race car and show that you can promote yourself and other people and other brands to coincide with your own. So it's definitely a cool opportunity to do that, and a little bit more formal setting than last night for sure, but like I said, it's just part of the sport that I love so much, and that it's all about the people. And I've said it countless times, and we'll say it countless times again, that it's the people that make the sport, whether it's the people sitting in the stands, sitting in the driver's seat, or sitting in the pit box, or sitting up in the tower there running the show. It's all about people, and you all got to be on the same page, and the only way for us to do that is to interact with each other. And the more that we do that at these shows for the Northeast Motorsports Expo or the Portland show, it gives us all a great opportunity to kind of get that and see each other when we're not seeing each other every single weekend at the racetrack.
Yeah, and I feel like interaction is definitely huge. These shows give you a great opportunity to do that, and you can not only interact with fans and people that come to the racetrack and businesses and stuff like that, but you also get to interact with drivers from different tracks, which is kind of cool. So I remember last year in Portland, you made the connection with Wiscasset, and then you ended up going to race there a few races last season, which was pretty cool. So you kind of get to see drivers, like you said, that you've heard of but haven't been able to meet formally up close. We'll have Beechridge there, Speedway 95, Oxford, Actor, Pastor. So it's just like, names that you've heard but haven't really like seen up close.
Absolutely, and like I said, it's all about the people and being able to diversify yourself and your brand, like I said, to these outer places or outer people. It gives you the opportunity to experience something like I did last year, where I was approached by the Wiscasset Speedway to try and get some Beechridge cars up there for our off weekends. And it's nothing against or for any track, but Beechridge will and forever will be my home track. I live 2 miles from the racetrack, but I'm about the idea or ideology of promoting all racetracks and all short track racing, so that the little kid up in Bangor can go up to the Speedway 95 or wherever he wants to go and make a connection with the driver up there, like I did at Beechridge when I was little. So it's all about the preservation of our sport and making sure that it carries on for the future generations, because not so much now like when I was younger, but we don't have these kids coming up through go-karts. We don't have the 14, 15-year-old kids running Thursday Night Thunder. We don't have that as much as we did when I was that age. And I was fortunate enough with other people like Bobby Timmons and Rusty Poland and Reed Lamp, or all these kids that are similar to age in me, where we grew up racing go-karts because our fathers or our grandfathers raced, and we don't have that as much anymore. So we're having this kind of weird lull period where we don't have a ton of people basically filling in our old roles, and it's been interesting to see. But by doing these shows and seeing these people and interacting with people, maybe you spark up a conversation with a business owner of some sort that just wants to go see some race cars, and you get a sponsorship. Maybe he has a little kid, he gets interested in it, he starts racing go-karts or legend cars, and bam, we have the next local hot sensation. So you got to be super careful with every interaction you had, because you never know who you're going to talk to, you never know who you're going to meet, and it's all about that. So it's just, you always got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and there's going to be like so many, like I said, so many tracks there. So there'll be like kids, like smaller than this table, that are racing go-karts that get to be in the same environment as drivers, like you that have been racing for years, or, veteran drivers that have just been in the sport for years and years. So it's really cool to just kind of connect those people all together.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, that's coming up January 11th to 13th up in Augusta at the Augusta Civic Center. We're definitely planning on being there with the race car. Definitely be there.
Beards and all.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't gone, take the opportunity to go. Take a weekend up, go to Augusta, and definitely it's a great way to see a lot of race cars, a lot of tracks, just a lot of people from the racing community before the season starts. But yeah, that's coming up in January, and when we come back, maybe we'll discuss a little bit more about, this upcoming season at Beechridge, because there's a lot of changes to the schedule and stuff coming up, and, interesting to kind of see how things play out there.
Absolutely. Lots to talk about here on episode 600.
Awesome. And we'll be right back on Mainly Motorsports.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of eKeys for Cars of Saco. At eKeys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, eKeys for Cars will come to you. Call eKeys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
Mainely Motorsports, brought to you by LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham. Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at wiscassetspeedway.com.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Hi, and welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. Still here with Charlie Sanborn, my co-host for right now until Steve decides he's not the major boss anymore and wants to come back to the show. But a little bit before that break that we took, we talked a little bit about getting the car ready for the upcoming show in Augusta, which is just a few weeks away, which is kind of crazy.
It's coming up real quick. Kind of touched on it briefly in that first segment there that this is the time where everybody's kind of relaxing and getting the cars ready for the upcoming season, and you've experienced that firsthand now a little bit, where we've invited you into the shop to kind of see that process where we're in a little bit different mode this year than we were last year, where we got the car down to basically a bare chassis, got it painted, and put a new body on it, and basically started from ground zero last year, where as opposed to this year we're basically just in slight cleanup mode, putting a new body on it and getting it ready for the upcoming season there. And one of the favorite parts to me about doing that is putting the body on, and I kind of showed you where when you're going from certain portions of the car to the next, you got to almost think 3 to 4 steps ahead of yourself to make sure that it comes out the correct way and it looks the right way, or the way that you want it to anyway. And one of the coolest things that I think is going to happen at the Northeast Motorsports Expo is that Steve is going to have Jake Doerr's super late model there on a bare chassis, starting at 4:30 Friday night when the show starts. And by the time the show ends 3 o'clock on Sunday, that car will have been totally assembled by Jake and his crew there. So that'll be cool to see for the fan to show up to the show and see maybe my car or anybody else's car, and wow, that's really cool. How did they do that? They have the opportunity to actually see how it does get done in the off season with just a handful of people. So that's one of the coolest things that I think people are going to be able to experience this winter at the show.
I feel like it would be really cool too for like people like me that are just kind of just learning like how these things are put together, and like honestly don't know, like there's so much that goes into it, like we talked about, just for like aerodynamic reasons, like right, doing these like tiniest little things that you, like we talked about the other night, like you don't think would matter, but they actually matter right, so much.
Well, that's one argument that's had throughout the entire short track racing community, is that people say that aerodynamics don't matter at a Beech Ridge or an Oxford. But my argument to that is, if you're going down the highway, stick your hand out the window and go between, behind the mirror or outside the mirror, you're going to feel a difference, and you're only going 60. The Sports Series, we're doing probably 85 at the end of the straightaway. So the people that don't think aerodynamics matter, I never really understood their argument, but that goes into hanging a body, or putting the spoiler on, that extra 1/16 of an inch to the right, or having that flare out in front of the tires, or sucking it in behind the tires. There's a lot to it that the untrained eye doesn't necessarily see, and that's what I'm excited to maybe educate some people on at the show this year, when they see Jake and the crew put that car together. So that'll be very cool to see that side of things for maybe the casual fan.
One thing that's like cool too about that is like this is something that takes people like an entire winter sometimes, just to kind of do like a piece at a time, and kind of get it ready just in time for the season to start. So to do it all in 3 days, like they're not going to be working on a car when the show's not running.
No, all show hours. So they'll be going nonstop, I'm sure, but it'll definitely be cool to watch.
Yeah, and like everyone was like a huge fan of Pit Crew Challenge, but this is like a challenge in itself, you know, to just kind of show how much like teamwork, like how much time and how much effort goes into what like all of us love.
Absolutely, and that goes to the people that always claim that racing isn't a team sport or it's a singular driver doing the job for everybody, and that's certainly not the case. And I know that us and in the community, we know that that's not the case, but like I said, I'm excited to have maybe the casual fan be there and just educate them on what we all love to do. So that'll be cool to see. And another thing that we get to see too coming up is a very good cause for the Hometown Foundations. You'll kind of quickly touch base on that, but sounds like Steve has a modified that he's getting ready and would like to have charitable donations put towards the car. That the money, they're not technically sponsorships for the car, but they will go towards the Special Olympics of Maine. So Steve will touch on that a little bit later, but that'll be really cool to see, and hopefully they obtain their goal of the sponsorship that they're seeking. So that'll also be cool to see. There's a lot of good things happening in the sport right now, and I'm just excited to be a very small part of it.
I think it's really cool too to just see how many like different tracks, how many people, how many businesses. When it goes to something like charitable and it helps so many people throughout Maine and New England, like how many people will band together like towards a bigger cause to make something happen.
And it's something that's going to be a good cause because of racing. Mm-hmm. That's straight from Steve's mouth himself, but it's racing itself that is creating the opportunity or the forum for us to be able to help and give back to the local communities for the Special Olympics, or basically if somebody else follows suit with this idea, that they could do it for any charity. And that would be cool to see, kind of all of us coming together for reasons other than racing, but because of racing. So that would be definitely really cool to see for sure.
Definitely, and I think like from a sponsorship standpoint too, it's not just like you have to put all this money down immediately. Like it can go over a span of 10 months, which if you're like a smaller business or just an individual person that wants to give back towards the Special Olympics of Maine and the Hometown Foundation, not everyone has like $1,000, $2,000 to put down immediately. Like you can do these payments throughout the span of 10 months, which definitely helps. Like I said, if you're like Dan Walker is one person that's talked about potentially giving to this cause in these races. Like if you're just like the average Joe and you want to be involved, it doesn't mean that you have to like take a fistful of money out of your pocket and throw it on the table.
Right, and I think that one of the things, or one of the hardest selling points on any sponsorship too, is that you're asking for X amount of dollars, but whoever you're asking for doesn't necessarily know what they're paying for, what the money is actually being used for. So in this instance, where it's not even for the race car itself, none of the money goes towards that. They know that it's going to be for a good cause, but they get to see their logo and their baby on the racing platform for thousands to see on both the track and on the show here. So I think that's a very good opportunity for a lot of small businesses to promote both themselves and give towards a good cause.
I was going to say that exactly, because it makes you feel good, like inherently for knowing that you're giving back towards a better cause, but it also makes you feel good, like seeing your name out there.
For sure, and I think that's what anybody wants, is they want, whether it's for a good cause or not, they want a small return on their investment. So being able to promote them for the good cause, it's really not much better than helping all parties involved.
I feel like it's a no-brainer. It's a win-win.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's definitely something that we're both looking forward to. Steve's definitely looking forward to, and we're looking forward to seeing like how everyone kind of responds to that show in Augusta and putting that car together. But like we said, putting the car together is just the beginning, and there's a whole entire season of racing coming up, not far on the horizon. We'll definitely talk about next season at Beach Ridge and just how changes are coming and what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Welcome to Mainely Motorsports.
To order a copy of this show, send a check or money order for $15, including shipping and handling, to Mainely Motorsports, 2 Main Street, Suite 17-103, Biddeford, Maine, 04005. And please add the show number in the description of the show.
Welcome back to our 600th episode of Mainly Motorsports. Still here with Charlie.
Absolutely.
Definitely want to close things up with you talking about 2018. I know coming off of like your winning a season to date last season, you know, had like really high hopes going into like this season, but it actually wasn't like a bad season. Turned out with your best points finish of your career.
Yeah, I think we ended up spoiling ourselves at the end of 2017 there with 4 feature wins, and we had very high expectations of ourselves to hopefully, you know, be one of the championship contenders, which we weren't necessarily that all year, but from probably the halfway or middle point of last year, things we finally got our act back together, and we started hitting on it, and we ended up with, I believe, 3 second place finishes, 4 third place finishes, a bunch of top 5s, 4 heat wins. So it's not like we were slow or not competitive. We were just off by maybe that much or so, and it was cool to experience that and have probably one of our most competitive seasons as a whole by the end of the season, and getting a 3rd place points finish, which is the best of my career in the sports series, and being able to go to the banquet and, you know, have a speech on stage and all that. But we definitely want those last 2 spots for sure, and I think that's our goal again going into 2019, and hopefully not having that beginning to mid-season lull, which inherently hurt us at the end of the season. So that's definitely our goal, and like I said, we're already on track to have the car all put together before New Year's, and we look forward to the Northeast Motorsports Expo. We look forward to the Portland Expo show. And just being ready and prepared to the fullest for once. So I'm excited for that, and to promote again ourselves, our brand, and my team, and chasing the checkered, of course, being on the hood again this year. So I'm just excited, and I think we have a really good shot at it. I don't see why we can't be one of the top contenders again.
It's definitely excitement. Like you said, like last year it was awesome. Like that's something like you can't top. But like this season, like as you said, like hit that mid-season stride, and you just came so close so many times.
Right.
And like everyone says, like nobody likes finishing second because like finishing second's like kissing your sister. But it's just like to be that close, like you can like almost like taste it like every time, and it's like we're getting closer and closer. It's just, you know,
Absolutely.
you need to put in that much more.
Yeah, and following last season too, we made being our first full season back, we made a lot of new friendships and more relationships on the track with different drivers, and drivers like Joe Pastore or Devin Curett, and a lot of guys that I haven't had the opportunity to race with in the past, and it was cool to be a part of that experience throughout all of last year, and I look forward to carrying on that next year, excuse me. So it should be cool, and again, I'm just excited for all of it to happen. I just want to go racing. I'm tired of the snow. I'm tired of the cold.
Yeah, you hate winter.
I'm not a fan. I like hockey. That's about it, though.
That's what we do too. Like I think it's really cool being part of your team. Like we're like a family too. Like even during the off season, we're always like going to like the hockey games, like hanging out, because it's not like, oh, race season's back, like we're all gonna get together again. I think an important part of being like a successful team is like having that family, aspect to it as well.
Right. And it's just been it's been a very crazy ride for sure, from the go-kart days to racing on Thursday Thunder in the Mad Bomber division, to racing a 4-cylinder truck for a little bit, to now being in the sports series for going on to my 9th season, which is crazy to think about at 25 years old. So definitely kind of that weird age to, I'm one of the younger guys in the crowd, or in the division now, and I've also would hopefully be considered one of the veterans or elder statesmen of the group, being my almost 10 years in the series now, which is just absolutely crazy to think about. And even seeing things like this show progress over the last 600 shows, it's been crazy to see, and I've been honored and humbled just to be a small part of the whole life that we call racing. And I appreciate you, and I thank you and Steve for having me on the show and having the confidence in me to do this. And I've been on a couple times before, and it's always a cool experience. And I've known Steve for quite a long time now. I used to race go-karts with his daughter Alicia, and we would help each other out at Richmond Karting Speedway, back in the day, where it'd be like kids like me and Bobby Timmons and Alman Evans, and just a ton of people that you kind of miss racing with every once in a while, but you still all hang out, you still all love the same thing, you do the same things, and it's cool to be a part of. And I'm just, like I said, happy to be just that small part of it.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot this episode, just kind of looking back at memories and how long you've been a part of the series, but it's also all about progression. And I know that next season we're almost doubling in races at Beech Ridge, going from 12 races last season to 21, eliminating the past touring series, which kind of makes it less of a financial burden on both teams and families coming to the racetracks. And I think that was a little bit of their reasoning behind that. But it's just kind of crazy to think that it's going to be nearly double what was last season.
I understand maybe the thought process of trying to save the local guys some money and things like that, but the people love to see the touring guys come in. You love to see the big boys of the past series, or the Actor, or the Modifieds, or really any touring series come in and just put a different look on the track for a night that maybe not everybody's used to. And it's kind of a bummer that we're not going to get any of that, but it's cool to see that they're trying to go in the right direction to maybe save us a couple bucks here and there. But I'm going to miss it for sure, but looking forward, I am excited for the expanded season. It kind of goes back to the Beech Ridge go-kart days, where we had 20 race schedules, and there were 30 of us on the racetrack in go-karts, and it'll be cool to maybe get back to that, where we have that expanded season, and we'll get more of an opportunity to have people come in mid-season, or maybe even be prepared for the full season, and have hopefully bigger fields and make the racing that much better than it has been already. And I'm excited to have a full race schedule where you can maybe have a mulligan or two, and it won't affect you as much as it would in, like you said, the 12 races that we had last year. So it'll showcase your ability to have a better average and hold your standard up here for longer, and show that you belong there. So it's something that I've always liked, and I think it's going to be able to be a good place for us to all showcase maybe a little bit different talent, where you can go and win a race here and there, but you got to hold what you're doing all year for 20 races. And I think that'll be cool to be a part of.
That's one thing I was thinking about too, with a 12 race schedule, it could cut pretty short last year, because it was rain after rain after rain, and of course on every third week that we would have off, it would be sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
Those
days.
And
I think that last year I think in addition to a lot of other people, liked the broken up schedule where it was 3 on, 1 off, but just unfortunate circumstances, we had 5 rainouts, and that cut I believe a 16 or 17 race schedule down to 12 races that determine the championship. And like I said, we had that 3-4 race stretch at the very beginning where we just didn't have our stuff together, we were struggling, and that showed at the end of the year when we were firing off seconds, thirds, top 5s here, there every week, and we were still that much down in the points to get only up to thirds. So I think that if we can have that higher standard that we put ourselves at the end of 2017 and the end of 2018, if we can have that for an entire season, I think that I think that we're for sure one of the contenders going into 2019, and hopefully being able to put a tuxedo on, go to the banquet, and get the big trophy. So our main focus for sure is those last 2 spots in the point standings, but you never know what's going to happen, and that's what I love about it. It's always a crapshoot, and it's always a gamble. That's why we all do it.
And I feel like we've talked about like consistency time and time again, but like just this race schedule, like it just gives you so many more opportunities where like if you have the consistent finishes like you had, like top 5s every week, you know, sometimes, I mean, everyone loves to win races, of course, like that's the goal, but like Gary won championship just based off of consistency a few seasons ago.
Right, and there's a lot of people, a lot of very talented race car drivers that have won championships without winning races. I believe Mike Maeda has done it. You know, a lot of people have done it. That you know, it's a different goal to have in mind for the season. It's not going off and firing off 4 or 5 wins. It's having the consistency to be the top guy week in and week out, and that's it's definitely a grind. It's a higher level to have yourself at all times, but you know, hopefully we do fire off and win some races and have the best of both worlds. But you know, I want to bring home checkered flags. That's not what I'm saying at all. I want to win every race that I'm in. But the ultimate goal is the big trophy and the championship at the end of the year, for sure.
Definitely, and that's like what we're all like working towards, you know, working together, which is really important. And it's just you know, you never know how things are going to end out, but you know, always, you know, trying, all of us like trying our hardest just to make it happen for you this upcoming season.
Yeah, it's you know, I appreciate it, from everybody that works on the car to helping with finances, chasing the checkered obviously with you and your help, and Matt King, Eric King, Brandon Collins, Cody Maxim, Liz Thorne, my girlfriend Devin Burgess, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, even in the, you know, behind the scenes role. Dave Charest and Charest Properties absolutely would not be able to race without him and his facilities and his kind-heartedness to let me into his shop, and you know, hopefully help elevate both of us in the sports series. So it takes an army for every single car out there, and that's why there's 3,000 people in the stands and only 30 cars on the track. So that's, you know, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be one of those on the track, and that's why I want that championship. I want that opportunity to be able to thank everyone that has helped me since July of 2001 till now. So it's not just about me, it's about everybody that's been on the car, from go-karts to Mad Bombers to today, to everybody that's had a hand on it, to working on it and all of that. So it's been a ride for sure, but you know, it's always on to the next one. That's all that matters. You're only as good as your last race, and all that matters is the next one.
And that's what it's all about too. Like that's why we're, you know, over the course of this winter having drivers on, is to just give you the opportunity to have the floor and to, you know, just get yourself out there and like thank the people that have helped you out along the way.
Absolutely, and that's what I love about this show. I think that this is it's a great forum for us drivers to be able to help promote, you know, the local businesses or sponsorships or people that might not necessarily get that promotion, or that, you know, just that general pat on the back thank you that you can't always get. You know, a plaque only goes so far. You know, thank you only goes so far. So this is just another avenue to be able to express my genuine thanks, and just, you know, thank you just for everybody. So yeah, again, I really do appreciate it, and thank you again for having me on this 600th episode. I know it's a big deal for the show, and I'm very thankful that you had me on here. And I've, again, partaken in a few of the episodes before, so it's very cool to be a part of this one. Thank you to you and Steve and the whole Mainely Motorsports crew here, and it's been very cool.
Yeah, and of course, thank you. Like, you know, like I said, kind of biased, but I like having you as a co-host besides Steve. And speaking of Steve, I think he's waking up from his nap and maybe might join us for his 600th episode of the TV show. So when we get back, maybe we'll wrangle up Steve and maybe get him to come on here for a few segments. So thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with you on Mainly Motorsports.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online.
Welcome back to episode 600 of Mainly Motorsports. Steve's on a different side of the table today because we're going to put him in the hot seat because he's always putting me in the hot seat, you know, inquiring about my life. You put me in the hot seat all the time. Like, where's Amy? Oh, we need to get Amy a date. We're going to put Amy on a dating show with racing. You have all inquiring mind right here.
How's that working out for us?
Not very well. But yeah, episode 600. It's super exciting. You've been here for almost the entire 600 episodes.
I was able to help out. I was on as a guest for one of the earlier episodes. Then we won the Oxford 250, which seems like yesterday, but it was eons ago. So I was on again, and then I helped fill in when John Crawford, the original owner of Mainly Motorsports, got hurt filming, something that hopefully never happens to us or Dick or Dave or anything. But yeah, got hurt, got hit by a race car, like crashed through the fence. So then lo and behold, you know, he went to Wiscasset with Doug White. Make a long story short, Time Warner contacted me and said, hey, you did a good job, you liked it, how about buying it? So I bought it from John Crawford. Hasn't been nowhere near as easy as I thought it would be. The struggles to attract advertisers, they're out there. A lot of the times the struggles is to find the time to attract the advertisers and then, you know, keep the bills paid. You know, one thing, the way we do it now is we self-do it, self-edit it, Dave Stewart, and I will tell anybody that wants to listen, the reason Mainly Motorsports is still on the air today is because of Dave Stewart. Mm-hmm. Because when he searched me out. I didn't know Dave Stewart. He'd actually sent me a couple emails once before about if you ever need any help. And then I got into a situation where there was nowhere near enough revenue to keep this thing on the air. It was so far behind with Time Warner that I couldn't, you know, they were like basically pulling the plug, like you can't go no further. So I had to figure out a way to cut costs, and that was us edit the show, us send it up so now I only had to buy airtime. I didn't have to pay for their production facility. And Dave Stewart did that, and I don't know what show was around, probably in the 300s. So he's been on for a long ride, and I'll never forget our first show. It was a dedication to save speed for the track, and he was there, and it was all, you know, about that. And I actually wore a tie in that episode. It was the first one he did, and from where he was learning his process and me trying to get better. And I'm not saying I'm good by no means, but if you look back to our early days to where we are now, the program has definitely taken a boost up, and I owe it all to Dave Stewart, because if it wasn't for him, and a lot of guys don't know who he is, if you follow Ray Letelier's racing and you ever see those guys at the racetrack, he's a major part of Ray Letelier's racing, but he's the one, because of him being able to edit the show and make it affordable, allows us to get out and be in front of people and do this. So, and then, you know, Dick Obey a couple years ago coming on board, you know, the likes of Brandon Simmons at Wiscasset, you know, Caitlin Osborne now doing her stuff and gives us more product, you know. Dave McGuire Jr., he was a big part of it. He's since, you know, gone off and doing other things. But hopefully someday he comes back and likes filming races. So that gives us more of a product to bring back. And then, you know, the co-host over the years, you know, Marco, I started with Marco, and then I had Travis Barrett a little bit, and then Greg Emerson had a long setup, and we used to call it Camp Emerson, Dan Walker, and then you're like I don't call you a godsend because you think everybody loves you. Everybody loves her. If you don't believe me, ask her. But no, you brought a sense of new life, you know, because of your young and vibrancy of, you know, the sport, and the sport's very humbling, and you'll learn a lot about it, you know, like it ain't all peaches and cream, and everything you see isn't really what's happening behind the scenes, but you've done a lot with the social media side of things, and me and Debbie talk about it all the time. You've taken that to a different level, and we need to even be more of it, and, you know, and bringing guys like Charlie on, and some of the other ones we've lined up, and reaching out. that's things I know needs to be done. It's things that I kind of push aside and like, oh, it'll go away. But you know, getting you more involved with the show has brought more life to me, and want to make it the best we can make it. Let's face it, we're not CNN, we're not ESPN. We don't have those budgets. We don't have the big TV truck. We don't, you know, everybody that comes in that little studio goes, oh, this is where you do this? Really? You know, but it's so much fun, and I'm so excited to finish 2018, roll into 2019, and get you more involved. That's why I've given you the opportunity. I'm not calling it an honor to run the 600th episode. By no means, as we've just probably talked for over 4 minutes, and you got 15 seconds, and 3 minutes and 45 was mine. But it is, you've made a big difference, and I appreciate it, and I hope you stay with it, and I hope you are enjoying yourself.
I definitely am, and I definitely appreciate it. This has actually helped me vocalize like more. I've always had a hard time with like public speaking and stuff, and I'm always just kind of hide behind a notebook at the track. So this has kind of helped me.
Ain't no notebooks here.
Get out there.
Microphone,
yeah.
And eraser.
Kind of put a face to like the name that people like see online, and it's just really helped me get out of. I have anxiety, so it helped me get out of that social anxiety that I have, get over those fears, and really challenge myself. So this has been like really like personally like humbling, challenging, and rewarding. And I think I'm at, you know, it's kind of been over the past year. Sometimes I can't be in the studio, sometimes like things happen, sometimes I'm at every single racetrack every week, but I think we're over at probably around 30 episodes of me so far, and it's been really fun.
It's going to continue to grow, so I'll successful when I have that first date. Not me and you, but I get you a date. I get you a date. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back. I want to explain more about the deal I got going on at the Northeast Motorsports Expo with the Hometown Foundation and the Special Olympics of Maine. I want to talk about the party. That was a great party, and you know, some of the things that went on behind the scenes that people don't know and are aware about. I want to make them aware of what the whole McKay group and what everybody did, and just finish off the 600th episode great as we lead into the Northeast Motorsports Expo. So I'm going to say it, if you'll let me.
Yes.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on Mainely Motorsports.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
Hi, I'm Andy Austin with exciting news about a new division of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway designed to bring new people to weekly racing. Here's series founder Dan Wolf.
Thanks, Andy. Our goal was to create cheap, easy-to-build race cars. Bone stock production cars with a simple 4-point roll cage and proper safety equipment.
We've named them the 21st Century Motors Street Devils. Our 2017 rulebook and schedule are available at beechridge.com and at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
The future of auto racing has always been streetcar divisions because of the low cost.
Some folks are building cars and sharing the driving duties. There's even an all-star car to allow celebrities to try out the Street Devil and a 2-seat driver's ed car so you can take a few laps.
Get information about our mentor program, low-cost safety equipment, roll cage kits, and videos on how to build one at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
So, form a team, build a car, and come join us this summer as we kick off the 21st Century Motors Street Devil Division at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good. It's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's coworker owners who understand the importance of protecting a valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Hi, and welcome back to this week's episode, the 600th episode of Mainly Motorsports.
You make us sound old. You make us sound... But obviously you're a kid. Charlie's still a kid. But if this was a sitcom, because when you think of sitcoms, they only show 26 episodes a year. So the kid would be not thought about, a twinkle in Dad's eye, to being born through college and probably have their own kid for 600 episodes of a TV show. So in saying that, I guess we've been around for a while.
Yeah. Been around quite a long while.
Yeah.
You more so than I, you know, you old soul there.
Yeah, the old, you know what I like to say, I'm 52 and fat. Which is true, I don't lie. But what a great time at the McCaig party, you know, and your first forte into it.
Yeah.
And not that it's a wild and crazy thing. This year was a little more wilder and crazy. Yeah. I mean, anybody that was at a particular Thursday Thunder last year and saw Steve Superfly Taylor come over the roof of one car and get in the grill of another guy's, in a little confrontation that maybe went below the radar. Got to see it firsthand last night as he destroyed a table with the elbow drop, you know, and did that scare you?
Kind of, because I was right at that table. Steve Taylor became a WWE wrestler last night, and Missy was like, "Oh, don't talk about it. Come on." That was like the life
Missy
of the
backed
party.
me off because I had Louis Anderson willing to take $20 to let Steve Taylor power slam him through another table.
And he kept on getting up every time.
But I asked Missy what her thought was, because I respect Missy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that didn't happen. She said, "No, I don't want it to happen. Please do not let him do that." But the great time there. Pass the parcel. Charlie, you think a little bit extra Christmas money you can spend now on Devin?
Yeah.
So he won that. I don't do that game because it's way too much work to try to get into that. If Christmas was that, if my Christmas presents were all that, never have a present because I wouldn't work there. I had to get in it. But it's fun. It was, Chris Smith and Kristen. How about the elephant? You know, everybody wanted that elephant. I wanted the elephant I was going to get it wrapped in Joey Pastore colors and put a 20 on it and dedicate it to Joey Pastore. Really can't talk about why I want to dedicate it to Joey Pastore, but if you want to tell them, Joey, they'll ask you, and you can ask Joey where the meaning of the trunk was. By the way, Joey, it'll be all right. And anyway, but it was such a great time, and me and Greg with our shirts, huh? And we have a fan. This lady Berta, so she builds crafts. So she built these shirts. She wants us to wear these shirts because she so likes our attitudes, so likes our carefreeness. So she gives us these shirts, asks them to wear at a party, wants a picture taken with us, and then she goes off and does craft fairs. So she's a little Jekyll and Hyde, you know, puts these shirts into us and a little maybe on the edge. We're going to be up fast, and then we're going to take them right down on the screen. But then she's going to craft fairs, so I don't know. She just loves Mainly Motorsports. I really think she's got a secret crush on me because she's like a stalker. She like follows me around. I've seen her in places, and every time she sees me, she's like looking around the corner, like, you know that weird peer that somebody gives you. I don't know if it's a weirdness stare about her, or if she literally is like putting daggers into me. But love Berta to death, and Berta's Crafts is the next best thing to sliced bread around this parts of southern Maine. So then the left, right, center charity game. $15, usually played with $3. But this year, because of an unfortunate situation, a young girl that passed away with a rare form of lymphoma, her mom's boyfriend, Tim Bennett, works on Naughty 40 Racing. I've known Tim forever. I've known the mom. I coached the little girl in basketball in 5th grade, so I know the family. And everything they went through this summer, and they've had the past 2 years, we wanted to do something back. So, you know, our core group took up a collection, you know, with $700. Then we sold tickets. People put baskets together to donate, which raised more. And then the left, right, center game, and you won. You got, you know, $100, $200 went back. You got a nice plaque, and I know it doesn't mean, and I'm not saying it don't mean anything to you, not knowing, but I want to, you know, when we talk someday off air, we'll talk about the little girl, and and the kind of person she was, and she'd be that little girl that you would fall in love with because she was such a great kid. So it was just a great night. I left at 12:30 and it was still happening. For all I know, as we're taping the show Sunday afternoon, it's still happening. I'm just glad I ain't cleaning the garage there, Dan McKeag.
Yeah, I had a really great time. I really was on board with everything that they were doing for the family, and after I won the left, right, center game, I know that, like you said, like obviously it's something that no family ever wants to go through, and I knew that Dan deeply emotionally was a part of it. So after I won that game, you got the plaque for winning the game, and I actually felt that it was right to give that plaque to Dan McKeag. So gave it to him. It was a nice little special moment between two of us, and kind of felt like he should have that in his race shop.
No, that's nice. But it was a great time, and it's the season. Like I said, do that little extra. That's what we all try to do. Although I got to talk to the Salvation Army, because last week I'm ringing the bells collecting the money. This week I'm walking trying to put the money in. They got to get bigger holes. You got to fix those buckets. But I want to take a break. We'll come back, talk some more racing, talk about something, and you're doing a great job as the 600th host. So 600th show host, but I'll take us to commercial break. We'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of E-Keys for Cars of Saco. At E-Keys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars will come to you. Call E-Keys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
E-Keys, they raise the bar. E-Keys for Cars.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs.
As we're running at the show, I just wanted to welcome you back to our 600th episode with my co-host here, Steve Perry. Charlie and I touched on it a little bit earlier in the show, but definitely there's some exciting things coming up with the Hometown Foundation. So if you wanted to talk to us a little bit about that.
No, we're really excited. I've done some work with them, especially through the Wiscasset deal over the last couple of years, and it gave me an idea of how can we do more? How can we raise more money in using the sport? So I said, you know what? I've got some partners, I got some people on board. We're going to race what looks like an 8-race schedule between a super late model and a tour type modified. And we're going to go around with the car being labeled Special Olympics of Maine, the Hometown Foundation, going to be on display at Augusta. One car is going to be actually built at Augusta. But I want to raise money for the foundation. So I'm like, how can we do it and get people involved in it? Because we all know getting sponsors is the hardest thing in the world to do for somebody, whether it's motorsports, little leagues, golf tournaments, TV shows. It's so hard. But everybody wants to give to charities. So I said, I'm going to get this self-funded, and then I'm going to use it to attract sponsors. But the sponsorship dollars from Jim's mom and pop store or whatever all goes directly to the Hometown Foundation. Even though they're considered sponsors of the race car, none of the money is used to help fund any of the racing. So, for example, Amy signs up and she says, you know what, I want to be a gold medal level sponsor. There's only 8 of them. She goes, I'm willing to, I'll spend $2,000 and my title sponsorship is going to be the Beechridge Mod Race. Amy's $2,000, whether she writes the $2,000 check at the beginning or $200 a month, goes directly to the Hometown Foundation. It doesn't come to Mainly Motorsports, then we cut a check. every dollar that we get from this sponsorship program goes directly to the Hometown Foundation. So your sponsorship, even though you're considered a sponsor on the race team, has nothing to do with the race team other than us fulfilling a goal that we've set. And really excited about it. We're going to kick it off in Augusta. Obviously, we might try to line up a few to be beforehand, but I'm really excited about the opportunity and to be able to do this and see what we can do for the Special Olympics. And you know, by having Jake build his car on site, you and Charlie touched on it. That's quite a unique thing. Charlie's going to bring his car in, all shiny, all leaded, all ready to go. Might not be race ready, but for the average fan, they don't know. But the average person doesn't know how it got to that point. You know what I mean? They just know it's shiny and it looks good. We're going to show them how those cars all get to that point. But not only are we going to reach out to other teams, I got a commitment from Jason Ricker, who's the crew chief for Reed Lanford, bring his team up to work with Jake for a couple hours. You know, we're going to put different people in position to build this. We're also going to give some Special Olympians the opportunity to be involved and be a part of it. You know, help put something together that they might follow and go to a race at the end of the year and be able to tell their other friends or their family, I built that car, I played a part in that. So there's just so much more details. If you are interested, please reach out to me. I'll send you all the details. It's the gold level is $2,000, the silver medal level is $1,000, and the bronze medal level is $500. And when we talk about $500 being split up over 10 months, that's $50 a month to the Hometown Foundation. That's one less trip to Five Guys for me and Brick. Literally, that's what it cost us, Five Guys. So, whew, you go to Five Guys, you want to make sure it's on payday. But no, really excited. It'll be in Augusta. All the information, we're going to have it up on the website. It's going to be one of those jobs that I give you, like, because you're that girl. And like I said, you've made a huge difference. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back and wrap up this week's episode, number 600. Charlie, thank you so much to him. Does a great job. Looking forward to watching his 2019 year as he tries to gain 2 more spots. Take Amy to the podium with him. And, you know, the only reason you are in that chair is it's ready to break. So I figured my fat ass would just collapse it. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on Mainely Motorsports.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
We are back on Mainly Motorsports, here to wrap things up, and you know, it's your show, so I'm going to let you take the floor and just, you know.
My show. Look at you in the hot seat. But no, great job today, and this is something I want to see more of. Like I said, you know, grab a Greg Emerson, grab a Charlie, you know, and you know, talk about some other things. You know, Dan Walker, bring other co-hosts in and just enjoy it. You know, I'm not trying to back away from it, but you know, I think everybody's tired of seeing my fat mug and grill, and then it allows me to do some more things behind the scenes that makes our product better. So I really appreciate everybody, you know, all the support we've gotten for 600 episodes. That is a huge, huge deal. And if you think about in the days of sitcom, that's like a 25-year run in a television program. So thank you to everybody that's helped along the way. Thank you to everybody that's going to help in the future. Thank you for all these kids that I watched win go-kart races that are now winning races at the level of Charlie in the Sports Series. You know, Garrett Lamb's in the Mad Bombers, Reed Lanford's in the Super Late Models. I mean, just crazy that I was watching these little kids and buying them ice creams not long ago, and now they're just killing it on the short tracks all throughout New England. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to you. You did a great job. Northeast Motorsports Expo, January 11th to the 13th in Augusta. Follow social media. Go to our website. Go to the northeastmotorsportsexpo.net website. And I'm telling you, it's going to be epic this year. Epic, epic, epic. We're going to have a great time. Going to be some seminars. Going to be some drivers. Going to be, I don't know. You never know what happens when I'm in charge.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh.
You'll be back in charge then.
All right. We'll see you next time right here on Mainely Motorsports.